It occurs to me I have yet to do an introduction for this film. And just what it is we're doing here. So hi. You're going to see past me here, and eventually it'll catch up to current me throughout this vlog. I'm in Iceland. I'm with my wife, and I'm with my 3-year-old toddler. And we're searching for what everyone does when they come to Iceland. Beautiful pictures. This is a pretty good one I'm in front of right now. Let's go to Foss. It is 2 a.m. The sun rises in a minute, but it's got some mountains to come over and got some cloud cover that might give us some trouble here. I'm hoping that the sun will peek over the mountain here in about an hour, sometime around 3. Clouds will have started to burn off. We'll get some rays through this mist and a beautiful rainbow. That's the composition I'm hoping for. You won't find out if I was successful until a little bit later in this film, so wait and see. In the meantime, I have been successful a lot in this trip, and I have had a lot of failures. This is my first time in Iceland. It's my first time international, actually. It's my wife's first time international, and I believe it's my 3-year-old's first time international as well. It's been stupendous. I'm the only person here. The car parks were packed at 4 p.m. Luckily we're staying nearby, and I just happened to mosey on down here. I tried for sunset as well, but I think this is a sunrise location, at least in summer. Sunset, there was 6-ish people here, but you never know. No drones here. No drones most of Iceland. I would say 90% of the Golden Circle is now saying no drones, but you see them. I would say better part than 60% of the waterfalls you go to. Glacier Bay, no. Diamond Beach, no. Black Sand Beaches, yes. Good luck. The wind. So what I will give you is the one successful drone video I had while having high wind warnings the whole time, and the drone landing in my hand as the battery died and it struggled against the wind. After that, we're off to the races, and eventually you'll cut back up with me to see if I got the rainbow. Thanks for coming along. voiceover Colton here, and we arrived in Iceland about 9:30 a.m. local time. Unfortunately, myself and my wife did not sleep on the flight, and little man did. By the time we waited in line for our rental car and made it to the city, we were both up for more than 24 hours. We got into the hotel, got loaded up, and went out for the sights. I did not have it in me to record. I was able to get some photos, we had a good time, but vlog I could not do. We then got back to the hotel room, which turned out to be just basically a big greenhouse, cooked alive, did not sleep. Got up for the next day, combined 2 hours of sleep, and it was pouring down rain. Here we get to the first waterfall. It's me by myself. The wife and little man are in the car. Little man's asleep. My wife is bravely soldiering on. I got these photos. The path to the waterfall was washed out, and steps that should have been installed at the end of it were kind of stacked off to the side here. I did some exploring. I avoided the sheep dung, and this is my first little trip in Iceland, and I was already hooked. All the fatigue went away, and we just started on our day, started to have fun, and by the time I got back to the car, the rain had stopped, the snow had stopped, the sun was coming out, and it was just lighting up this valley and these mountains, and I was just in awe that we were finally in Iceland. So this little pan around here kind of shows you where we were, shows you the mountains and the green off to the side. You'll even get to see our little car, and I call it the little car that could. It was 2-wheel drive. It was supposed to be 4-wheel drive. The rental company was out of them. It was a hybrid plug-in electric, fuel-saving little thing, but it made it up the mountains with your foot to the floor. It could do it, and it did. And we started out not liking it, and we ended up in love with it. And not to mention, it saved us a ton of money in Iceland. To fill up was about $80, and this thing got about 60 miles to the gallon. It was incredibly impressive. You see us here kind of struggling down this dirt road. It eventually leads to another very impressive waterfall, though this one we were not alone at. And I did have some recording of us making the climb up to it and the climb back, but throughout all of it, my son had a complete meltdown. He felt we weren't going to the waterfall fast enough, and then when we got to the waterfall, he didn't want to leave. And it's just the truth of traveling with a toddler, and I don't think you guys really need to see or experience that, so you're going to have a little bit more of voiceover Colton here. But at this waterfall, there was a nice couple that were nice enough to take our photos together, and this is one of the few really touristy spots that had places you could sit and just steps carved into it, so there was any skill level could get to this, and there are a ton of compositions that look good, and you look at them and you don't know that there's a ton of people there. I would highly recommend it. From here, we continued on to another very touristy spot, and that was kind of the theme for the Golden Circle. Everywhere you went in the Golden Circle was just loaded with people, and all of these spots, if I had this to do over again, we would come later in the day. Like this waterfall we're at right now would have been perfect for drone use. There's a little spot off to the right side. You can kind of see in this image here that there's a bench that you can get to, that you can get down to the water, and you can just get these beautiful emerald pools. But we were on toddler time, and we never did get to get back here in the early AM. Maybe in trip 2 we'll do that. You also notice in those images the midges flying across the screen, especially in that video. Really, really recommend bug spray and nets. And this is where we realized we had maybe messed up by not having them. This next waterfall here, which is Gullfoss, I would say skip unless you want to go see it, because there is no real composition here that works. And what it really came about was get some shots of my son. And then these next 2 photos are just random spots along the way. But that'll be it for VoiceOver Colton. From here on out, I actually was able to get to some recording. I got some sleep, and the weather cooperated enough for us to get the pocket out. So I'll leave it to that guy. I never thought I'd be here in a million years. I'm sitting on a bench in Vik, Iceland. The black sand beaches and the ocean are to my right. Stunning mountains are to my left. Seabirds are nesting in those mountains. People are flying over my head on parasails. My wife and 3-year-old are down the parking lot here because he's looking at the rocks, which he likes to call fossils. It's a dream to be here. And if there was ever an ad for this guy, it is my 3rd day in Iceland. This is the first time I've been able to get the Osmo out, because it has rained or snowed every day. And this is the first week of July, last week of June. If you don't like the weather in Iceland, wait about 10 minutes and it'll change. It has snowed or rained every day we've been here. I have put the weather sealing to the test on this OM-1 every single day. I brought a tripod. I will never pack a tripod again. I might sell all my tripods. I've not had to use it one time. I've handheld everything, slow exposures. Up to a second, the stabilization just immaculate. I could go on and on and on. But we're here at the Black Sand Beaches. We're killing time until some of the more popular waterfalls clear out a little bit. It is currently noon. I'll probably head back to those waterfalls around 2 or 3 a.m. We might get a sunrise maybe through them. And I'll put the name of them somewhere over here or over here, because I'm not going to try to pronounce any of that. I'm not setting myself up for failure like that. Oh, take a look at this. Don't know if you can see these guys floating in the air here. Bug spray, midge nets, highly recommended. Highly recommend you get them before you get here, or you're going to pay $20 for them. But looks like my son has finished his fossil collection. Let's go down this beach and see if we can't get some sea stacks. See you guys there. We're heading to the sea stacks here. The other side of this mountain that I don't know the name of is probably the shot. But we wanted to hit Vik. Needed to get gas. And like I said, we're killing time. We also don't check in for a few hours here. Some tips I would give as my first time in Iceland, having watched, I don't know, 2,000 Iceland videos. 1, the bug spray midge net I mentioned. Don't arrive in summer without them. It is atrocious. 2, If you're American like me, get ready to see more roundabouts than you've ever seen. 3, hotels with breakfast. Food is the most expensive thing here. For a few snacks and a soda at a gas station, expect 50 USD. And that's not an exaggeration. We literally just stopped, got an apple juice, 2 sodas, and a couple of things like chips and whatnot, and it was $52. It is extremely expensive food-wise. Alright, I'm going to stop talking and just show you this. Weather sealed camera, lens, mandatory if you expect to get any shots outside. The time it's taking me to walk down this beach, when I've walked places, it has just busted out, pouring rain, and then been sunny, and then been below freezing, and then been 55 Fahrenheit. So prepare for that. Rain jackets, waterproof shoes, rain pants. I would not come to this country without some kind of options like that. Also be in shape, unlike me. I think the minimum I've walked so far in the 2 days we've been here was 12K steps. And that was when we were in Reykjavik. And I'll put some of the photos here for you to enjoy. Other than that, I think I've been walking 20K. Yeah. Old man's feeling old. Let's go find this composition. Alright, that's the shot for now. At least until sunset or sunrise. Whew. The sand is not easy to walk in. Back to my suggestions. Become nocturnal. You got almost 24 hours of sun here. The sun sets at 12:30. It becomes dusk. And it rises around 2:30. If you go to the popular locations at 2, 3, 4 a.m., I'm oftentimes the only person there. Now, if the weather cooperates, that's a different story. There's my wife and little man down there. I'm about to go take the OM-3 from her because it has the 40 to 150 on it. And where I just was, up on top of the rocks back there, puffins. Yep, our first puffins. I'll spare you guys, listen to me labor over the black sands here, and hopefully when you see me next, we've got some puffins. Mission accomplished, bunny ears included, but it's starting to rain, so this is probably the last video you're going to see, and then maybe you'll see some puffin pictures if I'm successful. If you don't, you know what happened. This is going to be the first video in Iceland. I'm going to tag a whole bunch of photos at the end of this that I couldn't record because of the weather, and some videos shot on the OM-1, the OM-3. So excited to be here. Can't wait to share this stuff with you guys. Yeah. See you soon. just when you think you've seen it all, and surely it can't get more spectacular. We're getting ready to leave, and a whale just 100 feet offshore decided to start breaching and feeding, and seals and puffins and everything you can imagine right here in the rain. I am not a wildlife photographer, so I apologize ahead of time. My wife did let me steal the OM-3 to give it a shot, though. Yeah, so the only thing that should hold you back from coming to Iceland with your family is money. It is extremely expensive, but you get to see your son here finding the solar system in rocks. What one's that? Is that Maki Maki?
Yes.
Absolutely. Have we found Hamea yet?
Yeah.
Wow. Do it. Even just once, do it. Not bad. Black sand sweets. Good morning. Day 4, Big Iceland. I have a face that only a mother could love, and I've slept 3 hours. It is currently about 6 a.m. Sunrise was about 3 a.m. Off in the distance, right here, you can see the end of black sand beaches. Further to the left, you've got the famous sea stacks that I was hoping for a sunrise for. But as you can see, we're clouded in. So when I got up at 2 a.m. this morning, I went down there. It wasn't great. I'm gonna hopefully get the family up here in an hour or two, and then we're gonna all go down there and see if we can get some light drama to it and maybe record with you guys. I couldn't record my trip this morning because it was raining pretty well, and frankly I didn't feel like it. But this place has been amazing. We're currently at Black Sand Suites. It's essentially an apartment in there. If I had this to do over again, we would have probably stayed here for 4 or 5 days and used this as a base to go everywhere. And I would have skipped Reykjavik. There's nothing wrong with
for that kind of group. The nightlife looks amazing. The restaurants looked amazing. But with Little Man, it wasn't something for us. So let's look at this view. Serenaded by seabirds all night. We had our window open. It was a nice, calm, cool breeze. Could get used to it. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys down there on the beach. Maybe we'll go over some compositions. See you then.
I got the shot, as it were. I still think a sunset would be much better here. But the storms are majestic today. There's a problem with that, though. The storms have brought waves, and my way back's about to be cut off. So, see you guys on the other side. Definitely one of those spots that I would come late or early to. It was practically empty in the AM. Now back, there are so many people I don't think you can clone them out of your shots. Voice is starting to go too. Anywho, back to things about Iceland as we make our way up the beach here. Parking at this location was $9 USD. Most of the sites I've stopped at, that has been the cost. $9. There was one that I stopped at, and I'll put the name somewhere on the screen that isn't my face, was $16. Do I think all of them are worth it? No. And once I get home, I'll go down the list of the things I think are not and are worth it. Parking in Reykjavik also wasn't bad, but that also was about $20 to park a good ways away from my hotel and drag all the bags there. And to be completely honest with you, not doing the nightlife, I would probably skip Reykjavik if I come again. And my wife has just informed me we are coming again, and she's already booked the hotels, so that should tell you what she thinks of it. And my son, he hasn't stopped laughing and giggling. He's having a blast. We all are. Very end there, where you see the mist, that's where I'm headed. I'll spare you guys the gory details of me huffing and puffing my way. So, remember when I said the way back was closing on me and I had to go? Well, I started up the beach toward this lighthouse up here. My wife informed me, sent me a few photos. As she was taking photos of the rock cliffs there, a woman decided to try to get a selfie, wasn't paying attention, got grabbed by the surf, and apparently her husband saved her. I'm not going to post or share the photos, obviously, but yeah, these waves are huge. There's warnings everywhere, and if you do a quick Google search, you'll see it's not always a happy ending. No photo is worth that, especially a phone selfie. So bear that in mind when you come here. You need to have one eye on the surf, one eye on your composition if you're near the waves and taking a photo, because you think you're going fine and then a monster wave just comes in. Be safe out there, folks. Fortunately, this mist is kind of rolling in. I'm still going to make my way down there, but the good news is Iceland has multiple things And a few moments ago, the light was just popping off on these mountains behind me. I got a few shots as quick as I could, but I'm a bit far away, and I got the 12 to 40 with me. Kind of kicking myself I didn't steal the Zoom 40-150 to bring with me from my wife. But, oh well. Everything here is amazing. You just round a corner and there's this vista you've never seen before, no one's taken photos of, you don't see online because they go to the tourist spots or they go to other spots or the light wasn't good that day. Like, you could get frustrated because you know there are people that stay here for months and months and months or do multiple trips and they get that one shot with the golden hour, and it's just priceless. And kudos to those people, you know, amazing shots, and I am jealous like everyone else. But the experience here and knowing that these shots are yours, and maybe they go in a portfolio, maybe they don't. I will remember this for the rest of my life. Just like I'll probably be remembering this walk tonight from the pain of all these little stones. Halfway there, I think. Let's go. We're about 20 minutes before sunset. We're across from Diamond Beach at the Glacier Lagoon here. And I think I just got the shot of the trip. Here's what I'm looking at. It's not as majestic now because it's closed up a bit. We got some light over there showing. I'm moving to a second composition in the hopes that the clouds move or change. The weather changes here every 5-10 minutes. I've had rain, snow, unbelievable wind, dead calm. Like right now, the lagoon is almost glass. The reflection is almost perfect. So we'll see what happens. And yes, I am out of breath because when you have a toddler, things start a little bit late. We arrived at the parking lot probably 20 minutes later than I wanted to. And the walk here, it was all uphill to get here. So I'm going for about that third hill in the horizon there. See if those in Asgard are with me, and a little opening in the clouds. Either way, I'll show you the shot I got, and maybe you'll see a better one right after it. I love Iceland. You know what? It didn't get better. I found a couple compositions I like better, but the clouds moved in and blocked out our sun. Yeah, I hear you. Noisy neighbors. Technically, though, I get it. They've got young with them. I'm trying to keep my distance. You might see them over there. Mom and Dad are doing a very good job of keeping the scary human away. Wow, that was a lot of fun and gorgeous. And a random truck driving up the road, but okay. I'll save you having to listen to me huff and puff. See you on the other side.
There's another one!
Where's your camera?
Oh, yeah, I got it. Here.
Morbidly obese man climbs mountain to watch waterfall. Sorry about the wind. I'm trying to use my body to block it. I'll show you the photos here in a minute, but I'm about to be very controversial. I'm probably thinking of doing a video about the things I wish I hadn't brought to Iceland and the things that I'm so glad I did. And the controversy is going to be that I don't think I should have brought my drone. 60% of the places I went have signs for no drones, though you see people still flying them. You see some people with rather big YouTubes still flying them. The other 40% were like this. The wind is so harsh you can't fly, or it's pouring down rain, or snowing. And it's not that the drone was heavy. It doesn't take up much space. It's a DJI Mini 4 Pro. It's that the anxiety of going further and further and further into Iceland and realizing you don't have drone footage. If I was able to stay for weeks and could go back and back to a place until it wasn't raining or it wasn't windy and find those small places where drones aren't banned, then yeah, I don't have that time. I'm doing the ring road with the family. And having the drone there and know I'm not taking it out is starting to weigh on me. So I think from today forward I'm just going to forget I have it. Anyway, take a look at this. I'll spare you the walk to return to the car. imagine a walrus going down an escalator, and it's pretty similar. See you at the next one.
So we're here, and my husband went to go try get footage. I am making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This was $3. $3 for strawberry. I mean, it's good, but it's 1 ounce. This for a pallet, a small pallet, was $30 at Costco. It's beautiful though. It's gorgeous. I'm glad to be here.
It's about 3 a.m. and it's not looking good. I think the clouds unfortunately sucked us in here. We can give it about 30 more minutes, and then my cold self is going to go climb into bed with my wife and my son. You guys won't get to see much more here because it's also starting to sprinkle rain and the wind's blowing the mist back on me. And the Osmo is not water sealed. That's what it looks like right now. And then hopefully you'll see a photo here, and if I got lucky in these 30 minutes, there'll be a rainbow in it.
I hate you. We're not gonna be friends. Those VWs are just cute.
They're cute.
And that one's been run through. That's still cute.
there's VW's. This is VW makes a campervan.
Yeah.
It's just not for sale in the U.S.
I know, that's horrible.
And I think that's their campervan.
There's so many things that they make outside of the U.S. that is just amazing.
Yeah.
Like they're forcing us to buy mediocrity.
It's a volcano behind me. We're going to climb it. I'm hurting for footage because, as you can see, it's raining right now, and it's been raining this whole time. And you know what's not weather sealed? The DJI. And it's kind of hard to film yourself with the OM-1 Mark II when you're hiking up mountains and stuff without a tripod. You got a Toddler, so this is not one of those videos. There are people that do those videos much better than I would do those videos. This is going to be kind of a vlog / photography journey, I guess. Let's head up. Made it. So you can say we went to a volcano in Iceland and we climbed it with our son. Next we're on to the Dritvik stones, which it's going to be interesting. I ruptured the tendon in my left elbow, so I don't think I'm going to be pulling up the full strong one. I'll be happy if I can get the half strong, but that might be a challenge. Look at this view. Just lava fields. Wow. Alright, see you guys at the next one. Alright, we are at the last hotel. So it is the last full day. This hotel is only about 35-ish minutes from the last hotel, but it saves us a little bit of time heading to Reykjavik, and we wanted to try as many places as possible to find, when we return, what our plan is. And this place definitely factors into it. We're at the Lava Resorts right now, and yeah, it's really nice. And the price is the same as all the other hotels we were in. So This has by no means been a cheap trip, and you could do it a lot cheaper, a lot different ways. RVs, camping, we saw people on bikes. I think a lot of those would be pretty miserable, but it's a choice between coming here or not. Go ahead. Several of the places we were going to go today were jammed full of tourists. Kirkafell was currently holding 2 different cruise ships that had docked there, and I counted 6 buses. So we've skipped that for now. We're going back there tonight, hoping the buses and everything have cleared out. There were, if it was a dozen or so people, you can try to clone people out of shots. There were probably 30 people on the mountain that I was going to be taking a picture of. And if they were wearing bright colored jackets or somehow added to it, fine, but that was not the case. They were all in generic blue coats given to them by the cruise. The Drift Fix Stones, we got there and the parking lot literally was full. Not a single parking space. And we just turned around and left as a result. Probably not going to head back to that one. That's going to have to be another year. If we were going to do this again, we would definitely be nocturnal, and we would definitely have base of operations instead of hotels all around the island. But we wanted to see the entirety of Iceland. So we knew that was always a risk. And plus we're on toddler time, so not always able to get up at night and go do things. We're going to take a quick nap here. Little man and the wife are already napping. Get up closer to sunset, head back to Kirkafell. Hopefully it's clear. If it's not, that's a shot I get. And we're going to head from Kirkafell all the way back to a waterfall we saw the second day here. I'm not trying to announce it. I'll put it somewhere up here. It's rather famous. It's the one you can walk behind. We're hoping to get there sometime just before sunset, maybe even after sunset. That's more of an experience thing than a photo thing. And then we're going to come back here, head out in the early morning, and begin the drive back to the airport. All of this said, I think I can now collect my feelings about Iceland. And I'll include any shots I get at the 2 locations here at the end. But Iceland, incredibly expensive. Food, gas, etc. It will be the most expensive trip you ever take. If you were coming here just to see it, and you were like, okay, I'm just going to see these sites, not sure it's worth it. If you're coming here specifically to photograph, especially for content creation, anything like that, you're going to know how much you make because of it. If you're coming here because it's your dream, then price doesn't matter. And that's where our family fell in the latter bit of it. It was our dream to come to Iceland. And my experience with it is we want to come back. Every person we've met, Icelandic person we've met, very kind, welcoming. I have nothing bad to say about the country of Iceland. It's amazing the small things you notice. No trash. The only thing I was seen at places on the side of the road or anywhere else is cigarette butts from tourists, which absolutely infuriates me. But what can you do? Cameras I've seen. Number one, by far and away, the camera that I saw the most. 20, 30 of them were Canon professional level DSLRs. Like 5Ds, things like that. Number 2 were Canon mirrorless. And then a far distant third were Sonys. And I saw dozens Canon mirrorless. I saw 5 Sony mirrorless. I saw one Hasselblad 100cm film camera. I saw a Fujifilm X106 at OM-5 Mark 1. Oh, there was a guy with a Leica today. That's it. And the gentleman with the Leica actually is a good story. It's a waterfall. It's about a 25-minute walk to the waterfall. He's set up on a tripod. He's got his composition, and I'll include the shot I took that was very similar to his. He's got his test shot. He's good to go. He's got to go back to his backpack, which is about the size of him. Get out his filter. Get out his shutter, his remote shutter button. Get out a clean cloth because of spray. I wasn't happy with that initial composition. I walked around. I took half a dozen shots, started walking back, turned around, got some more distance perspective, found another composition I was more happy with. And that's this shot. Took that shot. He was just finishing up to start his. I started walking back. I didn't use a tripod once on this trip. I brought it. It's in my bag. I brought a filter. Not once. OM-1 Mark II. I had ND filter. I put it in manual, get my exposure triangle how I wanted it. That was it. I was hand holding up to a second long exposures. I never needed anything longer than that. I never wanted anything longer than that. Most of my shots were 1/6, 1/8, 1/4, things like that. So there was some movement in the water, but it wasn't crazy smoothed out. That waterfall, I literally walked up in the clothes you're in, see me in now, with the OM around my neck. Passing people with backpacks weighing 50 pounds. I don't think I'll ever buy another brand. Not unless something comes out with ND filter built in, with such incredible IBIS, with such incredible weather sealing. This trip has proven beyond a doubt that I made the right decision switching from Canon mirrorless to OM Micro Four Thirds. And I'll probably do a video at length more about that. Yeah, I'm sad to go, but all good things come to an end. Hopefully, future me got some good shots of Kirknefell and unpronounceable waterfall. I'll include them here along with a scattering of other shots. If you've stayed with me this long, thank you guys. Please drop me a like, a dislike, a comment, whatever you want. And I'll see you in the future. Bye for now.